And I think I was like 10, 11. I started like skipping school. I started hanging out with the wrong group. Just kept going worse to more street activity, to, selling guns, on the block 24/7, selling drugs, doing drugs. After that, my mom got killed, and I tried getting better for her, but then when she passed away, it's kind of just, I really had nothing to lose.
I ended up hanging out with the wrong group of people and getting a ticket, is I think what they call it for juveniles, for underage drinking.
My incident was a fight on a bus with too many people. I was overwhelmed. Everybody was touching me, and I don't like being touched. And a fight broke out between 3 guys and my friend. And as agitated as I already was, I reacted in the only way that I could.
I was still in the system and still getting charges when my dad passed away, but when he passed away, I was so angry with everyone and everything because nobody understood really what I was going through, losing a parent.
There was a fight that happened circumstantially. There was really no hard feelings afterwards of it, but we all got involved with the DJJ, and my supervisor had asked me about my mental health.
At first, I didn't want to do the youth villages thing at first, but then I met some really nice people. So now it's different, but before I didn't want to do anything that they were trying to offer me because I felt like it wasn't going to benefit me.
I would say the people that I had on my side and the people they do have working for the juvenile justice system in Allegheny County. I had somebody who I look as a mentor now, who was my teen court counselor who did my community service, and she kind of helped me with everything I needed. She gave me all the resources I needed.
Coping skills, definitely, especially if you struggle with depression, anxiety, anger issues. Coping skills, if you find the right person to kind of see. I was lucky enough to find a person that had been through the same thing as me, that had seen people, get killed and had, all that, and had depression and PTSD from things he had seen. So he could relate to everything, and he could tell me things that would help me, but I could also tell him things that would help him. So that's, that was the thing that helped me the most.
My teen court counselor had struggled as well and had a lot of the same problems that I had when she was a juvenile. So her having this experience helped with feeling as you're not alone and somebody did come out the other side.
The Life Set program with youth villages that I got into after I transitioned from the Intercept program was one of the best decisions I ever made. They teach you how to be an adult before you get to there, like most kids are supposed to be taught.
I have had amazing help with my Life Set specialist for things such as job interview skills, such as knowing how to word things.
I did have severe social anxiety, so it gave me a chance to meet kids my age in similar situations as me, or maybe worse, and give me a chance to make friends and talk to new people, and it ended up helping with my mental health so much.
The turning point during that was really, I would say, a few months into therapy, when we really got into depth about everything that happened that got me involved.
And they showed me that it's not just about this and it's not all what I thought. Yeah, it's not all bad. So once I found that there was way more good and that they can really do things to actually help, that's when I started opening up more.
Obviously, you don't just immediately, agree with everything. It takes a little time to build trust with people. But I would have to say that working with my life set specialist, it was a little easier to gain trust, as well as my therapist that I am currently seeing once a week.
The first step that they did bring me into was medication management, which helped a lot. I still have a very great psychiatrist who's helped so much and has got the right medications for me, the right diagnosis, and it just helped so tremendously.
See, for anger, I have to listen to music and start pacing. Same thing for a panic attack, but I also have to breathe because I'll think I'm dying, to be honest with you.
At the beginning of all this, I was really scared. I thought that I might be removed from my family and I might not see my mom again. But something that has helped me is knowing that if I work on myself, learning new skills, learning how to handle certain situations, that will prevent me from being removed from my family.
I've always had the dream of having a good career and being able to make something of my life, and when you get into a situation like I did, it kind of made me think that I can't no longer do that. I'm going to have problems with it, or just have problems into things like getting into college or having a career after this, but she kind of helped me see that you can still do what you are wanting to do no matter what. So being able to have certain resources to help with mental health, or having things like supporting parents or at some type of support system to help you with that and to get you where you need to go and just make you feel less alone. It does help a lot. If you feel like you're alone and you don't have anybody and you do get tangled with the wrong group of people, it's a lot harder, because once you get into any type of situation like that and you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to or you don't have anyone to help you in this situation, it makes you feel like there is no way out and you are stuck there and you are going to be stuck there.
I don't know. I just know that I've overcome a lot of things. I've grown a lot in the past few years, in the past year or two since my dad passed away. I've been just more calm and more myself, I feel like, because before I didn't know that person. When I was living where I was myself, and then coming down here, it changed me because I felt like everything was against me. Everything, everyone. Like, everyone had it out for me. But I know that I can't feel that way because people also go through things, and I see that. So that's why I've learned to lighten up and not get so angry so fast, and I calm down before I just flash out, and I just think before I speak and react.
I would say the court system. That was probably the hardest part for me. It kind of came on really fast. I had went to court, and with living in such a small town, they don't separate juvenile cases from adult cases. So it was, especially with anxiety, it was really hard. We had went in there, and you are standing in a room full of adults and you feel like you are being judged, and it's really hard, especially standing in front of a judge and having to plead your case.
I felt like, being that I'm in a small town where I'm like the only colored person, literally, I felt like they wanted to mistreat me. You know, like nobody notices me where I come from because it's so overpopulated. But being down here, trying to adapt to so many people that aren't like me and haven't gone through the things that I've gone through, it's hard.
They had me say that I had admitted to being a juvenile delinquent, which, learning that they did not do that for everybody, that I had went to court prior to me who were in worse cases than mine, and so it was more of you kind of feel embarrassed, and it was just hard. I have severe anxiety, so coming into there, I had a severe anxiety attack, and then having to go in front of all these people. I was not as fortunate, so I wasn't able to meet my lawyer before, and we are a low-income family, so we had to do court appointed. So I had met my lawyer about 20 minutes prior to my case and talk about how it's going to go, if I was going to plead guilty or not, and it was probably the hardest part for me through all of it. And that was also the first part, so it made it about 10 times harder.
The worst day and time period, when I was on house arrest and I went and found my mom that got killed, and then I had court like 2 days later, and it was actually my sentencing. So what they did was I still got sentenced to juvenile for what I had done, and it was hard for me because I thought I would not be able to go to my mom's funeral and all this other stuff. That was the hardest because I'd found her, and then I was dealing with, getting sentenced. I didn't really know what to think or say because my mom meant the world to me. I would start on a good path, and then I would get mad at something, and I wouldn't think. And I'd just be like, F this, F that, everything, F everybody, because I was so mad at the world, even before my mom passed away. It's just, so I would get in more trouble, and then, I'd go to jail and be like, oh man, why'd I do that? So there was that. I mostly just, I'd start doing good, and then, something just flares me off. Because I've always been the type of person to hold everything in. And, if you make a person mad that holds everything in them, it's just, boom, they got nothing to lose, they think. So I think that was mostly my turning points when I didn't think I had anything to lose.
Knowing you're going to have to deal with all of this in front of a judge and in front of about 20 to 40 adults behind you. I think there was one other juvenile who had court that day, and I was the first one, so it was just insanely scary, and it was the worst part for me.
Worst part of juvenile justice system is the nervousness. Like, for example, I have a very, very important meeting coming up soon that, not gonna lie, it does make me really, really nervous. But I know that I can calm myself down, and that I tell myself that it will be fine.
What went well? Everything. I really liked my supervisor. They were always really nice to me. They did a lot of them. I had a few because they would switch districts or they would move, get a new job. But all of them were really nice to me. All of them had a lot of questions to ask, and it was really more of a checkup rather than like enforcing anything. I didn't feel like anything was enforced. It really just felt like they cared.
What worked well for me is when they would listen, I think they're really, I guess the word you say, lenient on you. So, they give you a lot of chances, before they actually send you away. But the thing that helps me best is I had a good, PO. So, anything that would happen, he would always come talk to me before just saying, hey, you're going to juvie or you're going to a mental hospital, And they also try to put you through counseling, therapy, and things before they just send you away, because they know no parent, no juvenile wants to just be sent away because they don't want people to think that they're just trying to send them away, So I think that was a good thing that helped me most, was I had people that I could talk to, which was my PO and my lawyer and stuff like that would listen to me.
Something that really worked well, there's two things, if that's okay. There's a program that I was in, it's called Kids at Work. It mostly focused on cooking Also, every now and then there would be like a, not necessarily a mentoring, but a group like mentoring. But it would just be like once every other meeting. But at the end of it, there was this test to get a ServSafe application thing. And if I remember right, I almost got it. I was one question off.
I think they do it every summer just to teach kids who are in the juvenile justice system and the teen court system how to budget their money, because most of these kids who are involved are turning 18 soon and, you know, may not know or were taught how to budget your money and how to be able to live in a happy life while also paying all your bills, and but also being able to do what you want as well. And it was probably the funnest part of it all.
I had a pretty steady court counselor. He was pretty cool. He worked at the school as well. He worked at the school. He was the coach, football coach at the school that I was attending. And he knew my brothers and he knew my family. So he knew that it wasn't all bad. He knew that there wasn't bad like coming from the home. It was bad coming from my friends and coming from me hanging around the wrong crowd. So, like I said, they just wanted to like teach me a lesson, and he just wanted what was best for me as well. But like I said, I also felt like everybody had it out for me.
My PO sometimes does large group gatherings for like events or meetings. One of them I really enjoyed was for like a camp kind of. It was really fun, and I know you can't do one every day, but it was a little while ago, and you know, I really enjoyed it. It was really helpful.
I was as honest as I could be. I stayed completely respectful with them. I never gave any hostility, and I got the same treatment back. It was all in all just really civil conversation. And then they asked if I had felt any remorse, and I expressed that circumstantially I couldn't help myself. And they told me that there was an acceptable response, and they wrote up a little contract for 6 months, and then that was really it.
They just wanted the best for me. I'll always respect and love the fact that they did what they did for me.
I want to get into a good college and have a career. I want to do something to help youth.
Well, I hope that, you know, I can be a motivation speaker, and one that, you know, gets paid a lot of money, not just for myself, but I want to bring back to my community. You know, even though I'm not liked in the community, but even bringing back for not just my generation, but the generation coming up.
I want to dip and dab a little bit. I kind of want to be a flight attendant. I've heard a lot of good things about that, and I really want to travel, so that's kind of why I want to be a flight attendant.
I want to travel. I want to go to Yellowstone. I want to see the salt plains in Bolivia. And I want to go to Ecuador. But those are just the big destinations. There's a lot to see on the way there.
I want to also do, be a daycare owner because I love kids.
I graduated a little early. I work at Zaxby's now. I've been working with them for a little while.
I want to be a dentist as well. I don't know, I also want to be like a firefighter and a lawyer. When I graduate high school in a few months, literally like a month, 2 months, I'm so excited. We're so close, literally. So in like 2 months, once I graduate, I'm going to take a year off of school. That way I can work and get me a car, save up for a car. And after like the gap year, I was gonna go to a 2-year college like Mayland, somewhere like that, or like just somewhere around here, like a 2-year college, get my associate's degree, and then after that, leave that 2-year college and go to whatever 4-year college I'd like. I could possibly become the president if people would just believe in me. Vote for me, vote for me.
I would probably say that there is not to beat yourself down so much, that you do come out of this and it does feel like a really long journey and it does feel like you are never going to get out. But if you kind of have to believe in yourself, because there might be people in the court system or in wherever you are who don't believe in you and feel like you are going to just keep messing up again and again. If you believe in yourself and if you have somebody there for you to help support you, it is a lot easier to come out of whatever situation you are in.
That even though things can get very, very nervous sometimes, if you have the ones that you love with you, close to you, it does help. It really does help to have the people that you love and that love you to be around.